Right, that's the way to start. And begrudgingly, I get Chris Keys to have a chat with me here. We're up in Armagh. Chris, thank you for having me on farm, and I whipped out the camera. He gave me half an angle. Would you tell people, I suppose, tell me where are we and a little bit about the system here and yourself?
Yeah, basically we run a herd of around about 80 pedigree Holsteins alongside a free-range laying egg enterprise. There's myself and my father. We're autumn calving, so we're just getting into the throes of it now. Built this house, this would be the 3rd year of it, and automatic calf feeder in here as well. So basically calves come into here around about a week old.
I was up with you last year. I met you at the horse show this time last year. We had a chat after about horses and poultry and everything. A very impressive layer unit down there that you're doing really well as well. I got to visit, but I happened to come up into this calf shed last year, and I visited a lot of calf sheds, and I'll have footage of the calf shed design, because there's a lot of people, you know, with the type of numbers you have, looking at calf sheds and looking at investments in the future. It's a very nifty little design. Talk to me about a couple of things on the design. You built it for the calf and you built it for yourself.
Well, the main aim was to reduce stress on calf and owner. Listen, what we had previous to this was labour intensive, constantly moving calves. We had another automatic calf feeder on another unit where the calves were kept. Ideally, we would have liked to keep calves on that feeder maybe 70 days, but you know, the house wasn't big enough. We were taking calves off probably quicker than we wanted to, but this new shed gave us more room. We can keep calves on the 70-80 days, gradually stretch out that weaning process a bit longer, you know, again reducing stress on those calves and just making sure they got plenty of milk in them. But it's a simple system. Calves are reared in the pens up on the top there. They come in here around about 5, 6, 7 days on the feeder, and then just on the other side, whenever they're weaned, they go straight into cubicles. So they're under the roof here for the first 5, 6 months of their life. So you know, they're not getting much stress in terms of movement.
I like what you've done here. Couple of things. Obviously the people, I'll show pictures as well. You can kind of see there in the background. I know you're storing some building materials as a favour for a friend as well. But you look at the ability. It's a warm kind of muggy day today. Airflow is good because you've thought about airflow into the shed, haven't you?
Yeah, as you say, it's warm today. You can actually feel the breeze coming in, but we put those 3 panels on and they're on an electric motor.
Okay.
I felt if you had to open them manually, I sort of felt you probably wouldn't be inclined to do that every day.
Okay.
But because it's on the touch of a button, you know, you can monitor that a lot easier.
So you're still, it's not temperatures, it's not on a thermostat or anything like that. You're coming into the shed, you know in the morning, the forecast, it's going to be a warm, muggy day, open the panels.
Yeah, as I say, it's just on a button there, and we can open them, and we can also open this side as well. You know, there's a good high roof in the house as well,
and the light.
And there's light, yeah. There's plenty of natural light coming in, which is sort of, again, you know, the bottom line was to reduce stress on the calf
and yourself.
Yeah.
And the other thing I see is obviously you're training them quite quickly into, they're going to have that cubicle training done well in advance. That if they're going into cubicles again, they're just well adapted to them.
Yeah. As soon as they're weaned, they go straight into cubicles, and we've got different stages of their life for different sizes of cubicles. So once they outgrow them, they go on to an out unit, and they go on to a slightly larger cubicle again. Listen, it keeps them clean, and again, you've no problems when they come into the dairy herd. They're lying up straight away.
What are the key things you focus on from a calf health perspective, Chris? What are the things you try and get right?
Well, I suppose the big thing at the start is the colostrum and the colostrum quality. We test every cow's milk whenever the cow calves, make sure it's good enough. We get plenty of colostrum into that calf, you know, anything from 3.5, 4 litres, depending on the size of the calf, fairly quickly. And the environment as well. This time of year, you know, we calve a lot of cows. We're able to calve them outside, you know, and they're calving in a natural environment. Not only does it save on straw, but we find, you know, it's outside, it calves, and cow does well, you know. So that's the big thing to start with, and then you know, we bring them into individual pens, and once we get them drinking enough milk, we put them on a 50-50 transition in around 4 or 5 days with the milk replacer, and then we bring them down into here.
Okay. You've gone with the Precision Microbes through the automated feeder as well.
Yeah.
What was the thought process behind that?
I suppose, listen, I'd seen yourself talking about it online. I'd spoken to different farmers about it as well. I think anything that supports gut health has to be looked at, particularly in calves at a young age. I think, if you can stack everything in the calves' favour, colostrum, environment, anything to give that calf an added advantage, at a young age, I think it has to be looked at. We used Precision Microbes last year. We give it in the colostrum. We feed it 30 mils a day. But unfortunately, once they moved in here, we didn't have a liquid dispenser. We only had a powder dispenser on the calf machine, and it was one of those things I would like to have used it more as a preventative approach as opposed to a cure. Yes, calves get small challenges throughout the rearing process, and we go in, give them Precision Microbes 60 mils for a few days. I think it definitely assists in speed of recovery, and I suppose it was that in mind, the liquid dispenser was a must to get it on the feeder for the following years.
We'll get your support and feedback, but like that, it is, and I say it to people again, we spend a lot of time talking about the basics of Precision Microbes, colostrum feeding, the environment. This is why I like to show off, or not show off, but show farms that may be doing different things around calf rearing, because it's getting the basics right is key. It's a tool in that story. Look, Chris, thank you for having me up. I happened to visit the laying unit as well. You're busy. There's a lot of industrious farmers up this neck of the woods. You're not happy with dairy. You're doing a bit of poultry as well. On the egg side of it's going well. Everything's that side of it.
Eggs steady, hens doing well. That side of it. Listen, the two businesses work well together.
That's a question. How do you balance both? Is it
well, I suppose the two enterprises take attention and care every day of the year. We milk in the morning, we finish milking, we go straight to eggs, we pack eggs, and then the cycle really starts all over again. So, the two of them work pretty well hand in hand, and I think listen, attention to detail is a big thing. If you can keep on top of the attention to detail, everything else tends to fall in place.
Yeah, well, look, I'm a consumer of food as well as anything else. A big fan of eggs, big fan of dairy, and I think I'm lucky to get out to meet people who are actually producing the food, and you're doing a good job, and it's very important. So, continued good work on that end, continued success in the farm here, and thank you very much for begrudgingly coming on camera with me.
Thank you, Tommy.
Come on.